These are two of the best drivers on the market in 2025. Oh, Chris, look at that. With the relaunch of TaylorMade's R7 quad driver, today I pose the question, what is the best mini driver on the market in 2025? Is it the TaylorMade R7 quad, the reimagination of a legend, or is it Callaway's Elite Mini? These are two fantastic options for anybody who wants to hit the golf ball straighter off the tee, wants to be a little bit more accurate, and to be honest, probably wants a little bit of low-key distance. Good camera work there, Chris. That was fantastic from you.
So Bobby's not here.
There's no Bobby today, guys, so we've got Chris behind the camera, so thank you very much for your time, Chris. But today we're going to talk about the differences of these clubs because both of them do feature that element of adjustability. Both of them do feature plenty of technology to help us, and both of them feature that adjustable neck. So we can change loft, we can change lie angle, we can change all that good stuff. So I'll kick off with, what should I go first?
Callaway.
Callaway first here. We're at Lindrick today. I love it here. I absolutely love it. The Callaway, you can see we do have a weight in the front, so a 5 gram weight there, and then a 13 gram weight at the back, which we can put, it's not a sliding weight, it comes out and then goes to either fade or draw. So we can't change the kind of spin dynamics, but we can change potentially the shot shape. We've got it set in neutral because why not? We're going to tee off on the par 5. And that is exactly what a mini driver is all about. That's one of the best, to be honest, that's the best tee shot I've hit for ages, isn't it?
A long time.
And it really does make you think about potentially, when we talk about driver numbers, we talk about a lot of things. We talk about speed, we talk about spin, and generally when we talk about speed, we refer to club head speed and ball speed. Now with a mini driver, you're not going to produce as much club head speed because it's a shorter lever system, it's a shorter shaft length. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have less ball speed, because if you hit it a lot more centered, a lot more often, you're much more likely to generate the same, if not more, ball speed out of the center of that club. That's a really important factor when deciding what driver to choose. Can we hit the same again? We're going to have a couple of comparisons. I can't believe how good that's just gone. And that is a carbon copy. I say carbon copy because my head's all over this lovely looking carbon crown, but again, two fantastic shots. Dispersion, absolutely perfect, lovely launching, great spin, and I really think that does look fantastic. We've got that kind of multi-material composite, that lovely triaxial carbon weave on top. That's a win. That's a very, very good start. Now, if we look at both of these down on the floor, I actually think, you know, the Callaway's got something about it. So the R7 features that infinity crown. It's still a carbon crown, but it doesn't have that kind of multi-material behind it. And I think the R7 really does suit my eye. It suits so many golfers as well, because if you're of my era, you're of my born in the kind of 90s, you will remember the R7. Everyone remembers the R7 quad. I think it's just one of those spectacularly... It was a game-changing club when it came to adjustment. It was one of the most adjustable clubs, well, ever released at the time. You can see we still have that 4-way weighting system here. So I've got the heavy weights at the front to drag that CG forward. It reduces MOI, but it also reduces the spin rate, and the light weights at the back. You can set it into draw and fade. So I think really that is kind of 1-0 up to the TaylorMade here because of the amount of adjustability that it has. It also features a through slot speed pocket. So if we do strike it low on the face, it just helps us kind of regenerate that ball speed that we spoke about and that is so important. Can we follow those though? Looks fantastic down at the ball. Straight away there, you'll see that's launched quite a lot lower. It's still straight down the middle of the fairway. And to be honest, I really enjoyed that as a strike. If I put both those flights on screen now, this R7 and any of the Callaways that were so high, is that because I have that forward weighting? Is it because the CG's forward of the face? If I'm using one of these clubs, I think I want probably something in between those two ball flights. It's not like a golfer to want something that they can't have, is it, in relation to the shots that we've just hit? But let's go another one. We're going to go up there and see where these finish, because I honestly think these are two of the best drivers on the market in 2025. And they may get overlooked quite seriously because people are after brute power, they're after distance off the tee. But as we mentioned earlier, if you hit it out of the middle and you generate the ball speed, it might well offer you that distance off the tee. This is for 4 perfect tee shots. And that, I can't quite believe how well that test has gone on this opening hole of this video. Guys, let's get down there. Let's see just exactly the differences we've seen there on a couple of shots. And we're also going to hit them off the deck and test them maybe a little bit more to see which one could be best for me and, of course, which could be best for you. So one thing I found really, really interesting with the release of these mini drivers is just how much TaylorMade are really kind of going after the tour players with this. So obviously the Masters was last week. This week the guys are at Harbour Town Links, which is a notoriously tight and difficult golf course. And a lot of the TaylorMade tour players have been testing this very R7 to see just what it can do for their numbers and for their tee shots. When it comes to the Callaway Elite Mini Driver, I'm not sure Callaway are really pushing it out to the tour players for that validation. Now that's not the end of the world, it doesn't really mean much, but seeing the likes of Colin Morikawa, potentially even McIlroy, Fleetwood, testing this club just to see how it works, a little bit of extra validation that maybe you guys might want. So looking at this for a display, that is, to be honest, quite ridiculous. We have all 4 balls literally within a stone's throw of each other. And when it comes to outdoor testing on the golf course, this is where potentially they could have taken a different bounce, they could have skipped differently, they could have done whatever. But even that kind of lower one with the R7 is up here with the rest of them. There's 5 yards difference in these front to back and left to right. And if I do have a look at which ball's which, we do have, what number is that? A 3. We have Callaway. What number is that one, Christopher?
This one is a 2.
Callaway Titleist, Callaway, TaylorMade, Callaway. All very, very close together. And funnily enough, these drives have actually left us within range to go at this par 5. So if you can go mini driver into a par 5, essentially it's doing the job, isn't it? It's doing what you want it to do. So we'll go R7 first this time. We'll switch it up a little bit because it has the speed pocket, which potentially could really help us here off the deck. I'll try and play just some nice neutral shots in here. Obviously we need a good lie off this fairway. Lovely 310cc head. That one wasn't the best strike. That's the one where you start thinking, should I have mini driver, should I have a 3-wood? It's done okay, to be honest. It's got over those bunkers and we've got quite a bit of turf interaction down there, which I'm going to put that down to pilot error. It's not the easiest shot to play. Let's go again, see if we can make up for that. I personally think there is a driver out there, a mini driver out there, if you want to hit it off the deck more, potentially replace your 3-wood, it's a Titleist. That's a 280cc head, it's a bit smaller, it's a bit sleeker, but these are okay. They're both 11.5 degree. You can get them in 13. That's better. That's a much better one up that left-hand side, a lovely powerful ball flight. It's not on the green though, that is left, it's not faded back. I recommend if you were to try and play these shots and buy a mini driver for this reason, I'd probably go 13.5, not 11.5, because it's more, obviously more loft to help you. But looking at these here, which one would you have? Get in the comments below and let me know. I think they're both fantastic, to be honest, but I do feel like, would you have the Elite?
Yes.
I feel like it's a vast improvement on the Paradigm AI.
Yeah.
AI Smoke, a massive improvement. Right, let's go again. See if we can get one on the green, because it would be nice. That's why you're trying to attack this. We'll aim just up that right side here. Wow. That's the Callaway, and that's clinging onto the right-hand side of the green. That's the shot that potentially could decide it for you. That's the shot. Remember, we have the R7 in that low spin setting, so for off the tee, that's always going to be the one that potentially you can fly it down a bit more, you can have that play around with the ball flight. With the Elite, we know we have that 13 gram weight at the back, be it draw, be it fade, be it neutral. So it's always going to be the one that potentially is a bit easier to launch up in the air. So maybe one's best for one and one's best for the other, but how consistent is it? Because that's again why you're spending the money. Oh, Chris, look at that. That's all over the flag.
Shot, that.
That's all over the flag. Have we zoomed?
I mean, it was a bit late.
It was a late zoom, but it's okay. Guys, we have a tee shot coming up that could really determine the fate of this video, so make sure you stay tuned. And also, if you're new here, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. If you're not new here and you're not subscribed, why not? So far, I'm torn.
Ooh.
I'm like Nelly Furtado. Was that Nelly Furtado?
Bob would know that.
But I don't, yeah, sorry, you're not Bob, are you? Sorry.
No.
And as you can see, guys, as we're walking up here, that is a ball about 15 feet away for eagle, and that's with the Callaway Mini Driver. Also, it was Natalie Imbruglia. So Chris has coming good for something.
Yeah, I don't know, I knew that.
But
Pointless fact.
But you did?
Yeah.
So consistency-wise, we have both Callaways exactly the same distance. The first one was a little bit right. The second one, we have an eagle putt. So let's have a go at it with, can we make an eagle with just the Callaway Mini Driver? Oh, par. Okay, so let's settle this. This is one of the tightest, most difficult tee shots I've ever hit. This is the 15th hole at Lindrick. I'm getting my bearings here, I quite like it. I do enjoy coming. So, which one's going to be best for us? Because I think this is the exact time that you do buy a Mini Driver for. And I'll go Callaway first. Funny enough with the Callaway, the head seems bigger, which makes the shaft feel a little bit shorter. It's a really strange sensation, but they are the same, exactly the same. So it kind of makes it feel, I think the head is a tiny bit bigger from memory, isn't it, the Callaway? Where's the line, Chris? Just at that lone tree?
It is.
Come on, you've got to hit the fairway. Oh, is that leaking a touch? Stay there.
Yeah, that should be.
This could be interesting. I've hit that really well. It was a touch bottomy, but not the end of the world. Is this the time for the R7 to stand up and shine? I'm going to tee up exactly the same height, because I do feel like the funny thing with Mini Drivers is a lot of people tee them up really, really low. I like to tee them a bit higher and just really get that ball up in the air with a nice trajectory. Right, I think a fairway ball, and we know which one wins here. And that's how tough the school is. Now that, when I show you where I've hit that out of this face, you will not believe it. And that might be a little bit of technology that TaylorMade potentially don't scream and shout about too much anymore. But look where I've hit that. There. And that's really geared nicely back into the fairway because of potentially that kind of twist face technology, which was ridiculed at the time, and TaylorMade have kind of kept it with their drivers, but essentially don't shout about it too much. They've actually etched it onto the face of the R7. When we get down there and see where they are, you won't quite believe that that could be the difference, which is interesting. So guys, you can see we have the Callaway here in the right-hand rough. This, it's okay for distance, but it's not the exact shot you would want. And the TaylorMade, which was incredibly towy, and the spin rate would have been way down, bang smack in the middle of that fairway. So guys, I'm going to give this test to the TaylorMade. If you've enjoyed that, smash that subscribe button below. Thank you so much for each and every one of yours time, and I'll see you all exactly the same time tomorrow. Goodbye. So for me, I certainly had to bring my two favourite drivers of 2025 into the studio to test them for numbers and see how they did go on. Now for me, the Callaway is certainly a fairway finder. I think it's potentially the more forgiving one of the two, and I really enjoyed testing it. The R7, I felt like I could really kind of dial that in with that four-way adjustable weight system, and to be honest, I feel like I can really get some nice low spin knuckleball shots with this driver. I felt like I could certainly play it lower than I could the Callaway, but I did hit a couple of more errant ones with it. Now when it comes to the joy of a Mini Driver, I think I could certainly game one of these all year round. I don't necessarily think you would have to replace your driver with it, but certainly a really nice option for off the tee, as you can see here with that kind of lower punted shot with the R7. Now when it comes to the numbers, very similar all round. I think the Callaway spun a little bit more than the TaylorMade. The TaylorMade had like a tiny bit more ball speed, but both carrying very similar numbers, and both carrying very similar numbers between my 3-wood and my driver. So it could fill a bit of a gap, but really I think it's just a nice fairway finding golf club.